So the new series National Treasure: Edge of History has debuted on Disney+. This is a continuation of the National Treasure franchise. The first 2 episodes have debuted. I was able to watch them and wanted to share my thoughts on them. As a little bit of a point of reference, I thoroughly enjoy the 2 Nicolas Cage National Treasure films. They're movies that know exactly how ridiculous they are and just embrace it. Just goes for it. And it's that ridiculousness that is at the core of what makes them so much fun. That back nearly 20 years ago, we saw that first trailer, and they're going to make a movie about Nicolas Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence that has a treasure map on the back of it. It was such a dumb idea that it was like, man, I can't wait to see that dumb idea. That sounds amazing. And then the movie delivered on all the silly fun. It just totally bought into its mythology. It delivered all the action, the humor, the a certain patriotism through this very weird sense of the word, all of it. And then the second one, I thought, captured the magic once again. And both of them were big, gigantic hits, and it's been strange to me that in the last over 10 years, we haven't gotten that National Treasure 3. Nicolas Cage clearly needed them to make it. The first 2 made them a ton of money, and they just never did it, which is such a strange decision in my mind. Then, like a year ago, they announced they're going to do a continuation. I was so excited. As a Disney Plus series without Nicolas Cage. So what do I think about it? I feel like most of these Disney Plus TV show adaptations of projects from the 90s and early zeros, all of them feel kind of like Disney is just trying to crank out content based off whatever properties they have. But with most of them, it feels like they're at least trying to pull back something that mattered about the thing before. Willow has Warwick Davis. The Santa Clauses has Tim Allen. But when you get to this one, so much of National Treasure is Nicolas Cage. Like, that's the whole thing. He's so fun and he's able to play this total nerdy guy, but also be an adventurer and be convincing at both of them at the same time. And his ability to pull off really ridiculous things in a manner where you're like, yeah, I buy into this. That's his gift. And so when you totally remove him from the formula, you're missing kind of the key piece there. And then even beyond that, we're a couple episodes into it, the 1-2 punch of the National Treasure formula was Nicolas Cage stealing Declaration of Independence with treasure map on it. It's Nicolas Cage doing a wacky, crazy thing. Or in the second one, Nicolas Cage kidnaps president. So we have no Nicolas Cage, but also they don't have that thing that's the hook that's like, oh man, that's ridiculous. Oh, that's wild. That's just so perfectly silly that it pulls you in. In which case, no Nicolas Cage minus really silly thing, and you replace it instead with just kind of generic looking for the treasure, the conspiracy, the group of people that are meant to protect it, all the generic stuff that's also in the Da Vinci Code. And you're missing the core of what people love about this franchise. And replacing Nicolas Cage and Justin Bernthal, like movie star and great sidekick in big movies, with a bunch of like college age actors I've never heard of before. I've never seen them in anything before. They just don't have that spark. Beyond that, our side characters in the other ones are, Sean Bean and John Voight. Like, these are all massive hitters. And here we just get Harvey Keitel and a little bit of Catherine Zeta-Jones playing a very generic villain character. So you just miss those characters and those performances that just pop. And the other thing is there's just no way around it. The the fun of the original is just the escapism of this ridiculous adventure trying to save a treasure by stealing the Declaration of Independence. It's silly. It's like escaping all of the real world stuff. And this show doesn't want to do that. So like our lead character, it keeps telling you she's undocumented. Like it keeps reminding you of that. Like, oh no, we should go to the police. Well, you can't do that. You're undocumented. Hey, I want to get a job with the FBI. Well, you can't work for the FBI because you're undocumented. Like it keeps beating this same note. And her roommate character frequently stops to kind of like drop things like, finally, we'll be able to take down the patriarchy. Or she runs into a men's bathroom, and when a police officer's like, hey, you're not supposed to be in here, he's like, are you trying to oppress me with the gender binary? Like, that's actual, like, dialogue from the show. And it's like, I understand that these are real world issues that we're processing through as a society. Gotcha. But that's why I go to the movies, to escape all these complex, difficult questions that we're working through what it looks like. I don't go to the franchise about Nicolas Cage stealing the Declaration of Independence, which has a treasure map on it, to play through those issues. And so it just doesn't have any of the magic, any of the spark, any of the silliness. There's a hint of the star power, but not nearly enough. It doesn't have the urgency. Like, it just feels like they had a brand that they knew people would recognize, that, like, if this didn't have National Treasure on it, I wouldn't have watched it, because I don't like, okay, it looks like just generic adventure show ripping off National Treasure. But to put National Treasure on it, throw Harvey Keitel in the trailer for about 3 seconds, and I go, oh, is this the continuation I've been waiting for over 10 years? No, it is not. No, it is not. It's not a worthy continuation. All this said, I watched it with my kids. My daughter said she loved it. So my 8-year-old daughter, she watched it. She loved it. I really enjoyed that. Maybe that's to say that it's targeting elementary school age children. My 8-year-old daughter, who I don't think she knew there were movies. I think we've tried to show them to her before and our son before. And I don't know if they made it through them. I don't think she realizes this is an adaptation of a movie series. She just watched it on its own terms. She had fun with it. Me, as a person that loved the movies that came before, it totally missed the mark. Doesn't have any of the things that make National Treasure distinct and stand out. It instead replaces it with actors and characters I don't really care about, and weird modern day politics that I just don't know why we're just throwing that dialogue in there on a franchise that's supposed to be very silly. So let me know what you thought about it down below. Let me know your feelings on the National Treasure movies in general. Thank you so much for watching. Keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.